decision that we would have to stop sometime. This year, the Hardcore Truck Club had a little problem trying to find a place, and I can't even imagine what we'd have done without Hooters today. Hooters has been fantastic to us today.
Give it up, give it up.
Are any of you here for the first time? Do you know, or would you like to know a little bit about my son, our son?
Yeah.
17 years ago, he was on his way home from work, and someone had stolen his spinners off of his rims, and he found out at a red light that there may be some spinners in Kissimmee that would fit his truck. He followed the truck to Kissimmee, was in the house within 5 minutes, and they blew his head off with a shotgun. Took his truck was missing until approximately 4 days later, and then approximately a week later they found his body behind Disney. It's the hardest thing any parent should ever have to do, is to have a child taken. But over the years we have found a strength to keep going. We drove his truck down yesterday. It was 600 miles down here. No shocks, not much of a shock. You can imagine how hard it was on these old 65-year-old bones, but we're here, and that's all that matters. During the time that we've been going through trials up until February of this year, for 17 years we've been going through court. We've been to the death row. We saw the actual cell where LeBron is there, the one that actually murdered him. It's nowhere anyone should be except the murder of my son.
Yeah! Amen.
During the time that Neal was missing, I never ever imagined it as the possibility that he would be dead. And then when they found his truck, it had been burned. They threw gas inside the truck, and he had smart windows on the truck, and the smart windows went up when the alarm was set, and he saved his truck by himself. So without the smart windows, we wouldn't have what we have today. The fire was smothered out by that. So I thank him for that. And I also have someone else very, very special to me to thank. Jeff Ashton just appointed your new state attorney for the Orange and Osceola counties. When the trials first started, I was told by the victim advocate, Lynn Rhodes, she said, Becky, if you can get anybody, I hope and pray you get Jeff Ashton. He's the best of the best. And I found that out the hard way. I found it out by being with him for 17 years. Without his guts, a lot of times, without his knowledge of the law, that person would not be on death row today. And there's not enough words for me to thank Jeff for everything he has done, his tireless efforts to put all 9 people involved behind bars and also on death row. He has become very special to us. He's like a friend that I'll never ever be able to thank enough. But I just want you to open your arms and let him tell you a little bit of what's going on and how we have been through the 17 years of a hell on earth. Hope no parent ever has to go through it. But we are survivors. Neal would not want me to sit over in a corner and cry. He would want me to help other people. So that's what Larry and I have chosen to do. is to help other people. We've chosen to come down here and be in this truck club. Hopefully we'll be members until we are in wheelchairs somewhere. But I just want to introduce you to Jeff and let you know what a fine person this man is and how we love him.
I have to tell you, you know, those of you who I know you've known Becky and Larry for a long time, but you haven't known them as I have. I met them at the absolute worst moment of their life, when Neal died. And for the next 10 years, we spent together going through 2 trials, 4 different sentencing hearings over a 10-year period of time. We'd do it, something would happen, we'd come back, we'd do it again. And I got to tell you how amazing it was. And I've dealt with a lot of people that have had these tragedies over their lives. These 2 people came through hell. And I got to tell you, not once did they ever give in to bitterness. They never gave in to frustration. And this lady never lost her sense of humor, if you can imagine that, in 10 years of going through the hell of the criminal justice system. And I used to always ask them, every time they would come back after 2 or 3 years to do something again, I would say, how do you do it? How do you keep going through all of this? And they would always tell me the same thing. They would say, Neal's friends, all of it, you all gave them strength that you don't even know. Because they got through every single one of these things for 10 years and then the last 7 because of all of you and the strength that you gave them. So thank to all of you for what you've given to
them. One of the things that I always like to do is I would like to have a moment of silence in memory of Neal. And we always have a song called The Dance that I always like to hear. This reminds me of him. It reminds me of his happy, laughing, joking way he was. And I had a lady to come today. I don't know if she's here tonight, but she taught Neal geometry in high school. And she said she's waited 17 years to come to me and Larry and to tell us what a wonderful person he was. I know that sometimes it's hard to believe that he was crazy. Not loco crazy, just crazy, you know, funny crazy. And he kept me on my toes all the time. But you know what? I wouldn't take a thing for it. I wouldn't take a thing for all the funny things that he told me and all the jokes that he would tell me and all the Bofidis and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what mother can talk about stuff like that? But you know, when your child's gone, it doesn't matter. Because he had a life. He had a life up until he was taken. And I am so proud that God gave me the honor of being his mother.
A moment to say thanks to everyone here, all the sponsors too that has always put this on for Neal. Hardcore Truck Club that has been so great for so many years. They've done such a good job, and it's thanks to Hardcore. There's been many sponsors, the Ultimate Audio, and many more, but the main one is Hardcore. And thanks to Paul and Billy, and there's so many to name, but thanks again from Becky and myself. And thanks all of y'all for coming and participating. It means so much to us to see so many truck clubs here, so many of Neal's friends, so many that knew Neal, and people that didn't know Neal. The first time, many people are here for the first time. Thanks again for coming. Thanks for being here.
Here, here.
We'll have the moment of silence just in memory of my son.
I held everything for a moment. Wasn't I a kid? But if I'd only know how the king would fall. Hey, who's to say? You know, I might have changed it all. And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go.
Scenarios. Forgive me, I'm not real good at public speaking. And one of the first shows we ever did was the LNO show. And we've tried to make it every year, no matter what. No matter if our systems were down, no matter what we were doing in life, we always made sure that we were here. A lot of you all walked by our area today and saw a banner. And we asked everybody to sign the banner. Everybody that's at the show today. We're going to open this banner up and let you guys see it. This is a token of our appreciation for all the support you've given us through all the years. And if anybody has missed signing this banner, please do. Please come up and sign it. I know it'll mean a lot to the Olivers. I have markers in my pocket right now. Anybody that has not signed. But we figure when you guys go to shows up in North Carolina, this will be something good to have on the truck. That you can show all the love and support you have down here. Yeah. Thank you.